Alright, so this is a gold diva who recently came from console to PC. And so a lot still carries over. While the mechanics are slightly different, while some of the minor things are slightly different, especially at the higher elos. Some dominant heroes can be different and stuff like that. Uh, Generally speaking, it's the exact same game. So I'm kind of hoping to see that here. Let's see this though.
Or can I get host behind you, please? Thank you. Yep, monkey, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, so you and your monkey dove your tanks. And I understand maybe you were just going with the monkey, but there's actually no point of you guys diving the tanks. You will almost never win. You will almost never get kills.
I'm coming to point for heals.
Basically, it's just a waste of time that feeds alts.
Genji's up top on her backline.
And another thing, this is more minor. You said Genji was 1 and he wasn't. Just got to be careful with what we're calling. 1 versus low is a very different call. 1 means they're within melee range. And so someone may try and melee them instead of shooting them, and you may get your ally killed. Or Genji may try and dash him. He would not have died to a dash. So can we burst her? Can we burst her dive? But we just saw our Winston use his jump. So there's his jump. So we know he doesn't have it. We watched him do it right in front of us. And then we went alone.
No, there's already was one.
Cool. So you guys played Winston D.VA with very little synergy and diving the wrong target. So let's kind of take a step back, hopefully, and dive maybe the Ana this time.
Yeah, I'm going for Genji up top. Nice. Widow's sitting back there. Watch out, Lucio.
Careful. It didn't really matter if Widow shot you there, but we used our entire defense matrix to block it, so then we don't have defense matrix if it actually matters. Gotta be careful, because you just flashed it again there, too.
Monkey, I'm ready. I'm ready. The Reinhardt's one. Thank you, Moira. I can put pressure on Widow. She's one.
Okay, so it looks like your monkey ended up living because he primaled, and because you guys popped every single ult you had. But you guys would not have won without all those ults. So gotta be very careful there. Like when we left our Ryan and stuff like that.
The Ryan's one. Just focus him hard.
Again with the DM, there was nothing for us even to DM there. So we need to be watching our DM usage. Like, you're not DMing anything. Your DM is a 4th, and the only thing you ate was a fire strike.
Oh shoot, careful. I think I shattered her. We should just get out.
Good call. Great call. Get out. Get out. Go. Great call.
Nice, guys.
Very happy to see you doing that like gold. I don't know if you were rated higher on console. I don't know exactly, but I'm very happy to see you doing that. 2 deaths, either on my team or the enemy team, is when I always call winnable or losable.
Up on the airship. Oh, nice, nice. That's big. I'm going for Mercy.
Good call.
She's one. She's one.
Why not finish the Widow? She was right up there too.
Yeah, I'm on Mercy.
And now we're very separate from our Winston again. So we gotta be careful. To play dive like really well, it's important to start to learn like a large part of the time you and your Winston should basically be playing as one hero. Should be super close to each other, bubbling each other, DMing each other, using your micro missiles to burst when he uses his jump pack to get burst damage.
They're probably gonna try to grab us here. Yeah, shatter. Yeah, shatter.
Good call. We didn't do anything to evade it, but you made the call.
We lose this fight here. Maybe. Yeah, it's only one down. Kill the Reaper in the back line. He's one.
No, we don't lose that shit.
Reaper, nice. And I got a good spawn.
I like your commitment even when you're baby diva. Some people would have given up there, but you guys did cap it, so that's great.
I haven't used my bomb yet. Feels
You haven't needed your bomb yet. It wouldn't really have helped you yet. So don't stress over it. You're just wasting an ult if you'd used it so far.
Reaper's up top right. Watch out, Genji. Can we bait out Zarya bubbles? I can bomb. Just back up for a second. Just back up for a second. Alright, I'm gonna look to bomb this in a sec.
So you have a whole new job now. Now that they've decided to play a Reaper, your DM is more important than ever.
He's low, no fade. Kill him.
Because if he starts shooting your monkey just dies most of the time.
Reaper in that left side room again. Monkey, I'll go with you. I'll go. Oh shoot, I got hooked by Roadhog. But help our monkey. Did we kill Reaper or not? No. Okay. I got it. Oh, but only for some of us. I'm on their Ana. I got it. Oh, but only for some of us. I'm on their Ana. They're gonna res McCree.
Definitely the right call. You are doing so many things better than most people of the gold elo would do it. And so that is awesome. That is awesome. So far, some of your positioning has been really bad, and then your defense matrix usage has been atrocious. And if you continue to work on that, you have some great tendencies.
Careful monkey, careful monkey.
Like, what are we DMing? We don't even know. We haven't even seen anything.
Watch Reaper ult, watch Reaper ult. Huge sound barrier.
And if you knew they were going to Reaper ult, why did we use our entire ult before then? Or DM before then? And then, even more so, they have a Reaper hog. Why are we pushing through this section? This makes no sense. We want to fight them out in the open, not in this closed, tight area. Beg your team not to go that way ever again, because that makes no sense.
Yeah, we shouldn't go in the room when the Reaper's there.
There you go.
We should just go main. Okay, I almost have bomb again. It's gonna be big this time.
Again, kind of the same thing. Not totally, because your DM had some use, but you're hooking this or DMing this entire time. Like, he's still hooking. You don't need to be DMing yet. You don't need to be DMing now. He's already gotten shot. I don't need to be DMing now. And so now we used our entire DM there for essentially nothing in order to, now what? Get our team high nude. Your DM, like you used it on a hook, is good. It's meant to stop one shot on your squishies, though. You don't need to use it when your Hammond gets hooked and he's full health.
Nice. Push up close. They're here. We're gonna push up on Bastion in 3, 2, 1. Okay, no.
I know you called it, but did you actually make sure anyone could come with you? Yikes. Did you actually make sure anyone could come with you? That's a very common issue. Even at higher elos, with people who like to shout call a lot, they'll make a call and just assume that people are going to do it or are in position to do it even. Like earlier, you called jump on the Zarya, but your Winston didn't have his cooldown. Even if he wanted to listen to you, he can't.
Yeah, he almost has his ult.
In this case, DM the hog, not the sky where he's shooting. And that's same like with the high noon earlier and stuff. You DM'd kind of where he was shooting. You need to DM the actual person.
We are on it, on it. Where's the Bastion? The Bastion's behind us, alright. He's one though.
He's got big open. Nice.
Nice. Focus the same targets. Get on Mercy.
Can we be on it? No, I wasn't dead.
Okay.
Unlucky.
So right now, if I was to look at this and say what was holding you back, Your DM, 100%. Especially if you play a lot of D.Va. Your DM is so important and you're wasting it. If you play D.Va less, I guess I get it, but that doesn't mean we don't need to work on it. Your actual target focus has been pretty bad a lot of times. We don't dive tanks. We don't hard commit to tanks. We don't call for an engagement when we know other people can't follow up. Like when we saw our Winston use his jump, for example. And then you just have a couple general positioning things, but they won't help you as much as the other stuff will.
And D.Va.
Careful out there, Junk. They also have a threat.
She has no concussion for a while. Yeah, I'm gonna boot this monkey out of his bubble.
Good call.
Yeah, I'm on fire, I'm on fire. He's half.
So now farm the monkey. You don't need to boop him away. He just jumped so deep. Just farm him. You need to be really saving your flight here for when you can go on Pharah, not for monkeys here.
I'm on the phone.
Oh my god.
Same kind of issue that we had with our Winston. We left our Rhine and he died without us because he was essentially a solo tank because we were playing as a DPS. Your Rhine was hard shielding it. I don't know why we flew away. But you guys are hard staggering here, so you need to die or run. Good call.
Getting fucking steamrolled right now.
When your healers are Moira, Lucio, I highly recommend you jump and spawn to heal in this case. Your Moira has ult, I believe, and her healing's on a resource. You don't need her to use all of that.
Went down to main. She has wallhacks up, careful. Their fire is one. She has
Again, do you even know where your Winston is? Like, he's dying without you. Your defense is much less solid than your attack so far. Because you're not playing like a tank, and you're not playing with your other tank.
I can eat it, I can eat it. Yeah, the fire is one. Nice, guys. She wasted it, she wasted it. Kill the Mercy. Nice.
And there's definitely some general stuff too.
I don't know
Like,
where their widow's at.
hitting tab more. Like stuff like that. Like if that Pharah goes to Reaper, that's a big change in your play style, and you wouldn't even know because you're not hitting tab.
That monkey's so low.
You're making a lot of calls, but not necessarily all of them are useful. I would like to see more like target focus calls. But
Yeah, widow.
my exact same thing I've been saying most of the time still stands. Your DM, what are you DMing here? Pharah has Barrage. I almost hope you guys get Barraged here just to teach you. But your DM usage, not solid.
They already used barrage.
Play more with your other tank and kind of be aware of where they are, and you'll start having a better time too.
Alright.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, save the rest of our ults.
Bomb can almost always kill Pharmacy because they almost never play in a good position. So I'm glad to see you take advantage of that.
No, I wouldn't go for it. Just leave it, monkey.
That is unfortunate. You guys totally could have killed her. But there you go. It's the advantage of hitting tab because they have a Reaper now.
Yeah, I'm backing up, I'm backing up.
Imagine if you would have called that to your monkey. I don't think he would have pushed.
Reaper on me on the right. Thank you, guys.
Keep her down.
Monk, get the monkey still. Yeah, protect our widow.
Did either of those healers die? What?
Monkey on cart.
So, this is so minor. But it looks like you like to boop a lot, so I want to mention this. You booped him. Why not just melee him? Stops your flight, so you would stay up top, if that's your goal. Or if you do fall, well then you're down below where you can hurt him and help kill him. But instead you fly back, so you missed out on free damage, free alt charge, and you stayed up top anyway?
Protect our widow.
I don't get why do both. When you boop him, you can melee at the same time, and you'll get that extra damage. Same way like a Winston needs to be meleeing when he lands from his jump to get that extra damage.
Reaper's left. I can build bomb here, just keep me up, keep me up.
Oh my god.
Go with our monkey. We can kill Ana, she's pushed up too far. And there's a Reaper on me. Reaper might have ult soon. I think their D.Va has ult again.
Like Urian is gonna
Go
die.
with our monkey on cart.
And you're kind of leaving him.
Reaper on me on cart. Oh, I projected that so much.
You did. Weirdly
Yeah,
enough, I
one
got
up
the
there.
Reaper, but
Watch their widows
worked out.
moving back main.
Not all bombs have to be to get kills too. Like bombs can just be for space. Good commitment, but you know they have a Reaper and stuff, so get out.
Jump for that widow. She's up top. Nice.
Yeah, nice shot.
Baby D.Va, leave baby D.Va, leave baby D.Va. Oh, Reaper.
Reaper up top. He has Death Blossom.
So you've called he has Death Blossom, so save your entire Matrix.
Ryan, I'm backing up.
Not saving our Matrix, we're matrixing a shield. Ryan doesn't need that.
I gotta save Matrix to eat Death Blossom.
If I was Reaper, I would have Death Blossomed already. You guys don't have any sort of stuns, and I just watched you feed your Matrix.
Get that mercy, get that mercy.
Yeah, I'm on her, I'm on her. Oh, shoot. I need help with Reaper. He's probably gonna go ult if I get D-Mac. Yeah, Reaper's gonna look for ult. Reaper in our backline.
So you know your mech is the most important thing here, so stop shooting for small targets. Just go for the hog and get your mech back.
Alright, I can bomb this, I think.
Reaper on top.
They have a D.Va bomb, I think. Yeah, Reaper's up top with Junkrat.
Again, we're DMing nothing. When we know there's very legitimate things for us to DM.
Oh, why up there? I'm on it, I'm on it. Never mind, I got D-Mac. Someone else touch.
Unfortunate. Definitely a lot for us to work on there. Gotta make sure we're playing like a tank with our other tanks. Gotta make sure we're not taking crazy positions like that room over there. Gotta make sure we're not absolutely wasting our defense matrix. And then we gotta make sure that all of our calls are useful. It kind of just doesn't help. Like when you say stuff like I can bomb this, and then you don't bomb this because you're 90%, that changes people's style of play. And so you might have actually messed up your team pretty bad there. And so you gotta look at that. You gotta think about what you're calling. Think about your defense matrix. And then think about who you're diving and just playing like a tank, not like a DPS. A lot of divas have issues with that. In this comp, you needed to play like a tank. In other comps, D.Va can play like a DPS. In other comps, D.Va can play like basically a support where she DMs things and then peels for her other supports. D.Va is very, very versatile. But whatever style we are playing, we need to make sure we're playing it correct. So we're not diving Ryan. We're not hard engaging on a Zarya. We're paying attention to our other tanks to know where they are, what their cooldowns are, and we'll start having a lot better time just right off the bat.